adjust and adapt to whatever comes your way. So that's pretty cool. Okay, well, you were asking what skills are helpful.
Yeah.
Whatever skills you can develop will help you at whatever you do. So trying to avoid learning something is usually a bad idea because you never know when you might use it. In my career, developing math skills was particularly useful. Computer skills at this point, that wasn't an option when I was an undergraduate because computers were being invented. But at this point, having good computer skills and knowing how to use them and access all kinds of technology is incredibly useful. Even though I hated writing, it's come back to haunt me. I've got to know how to write. That's an important part of communication. Also, just being able to talk to other people in a way that they will understand you, that's really helpful. Whatever skills you can develop will be good. Reading skills tend to be helpful. That way, my brother worked as an auto mechanic, and he could read the manuals and figure stuff out. But there were several guys there that couldn't. He was the one that got the promotions and the raises and so on because he became their chief troubleshooter at the dealership. Whereas the other guys, they just changed oil the rest of their life because they couldn't read the manuals. So yeah, all of those skills will come in handy. Any skills you have, you never know when you'll be able to use them, but it doesn't hurt to learn them. Here I am a college professor, but I've been involved in a building project, and so I've learned a whole lot about framing and measuring and electricity and all that other stuff. So just don't shy away from learning anything you can. Anything you can learn is wonderful. It's a good skill. So go for it.
Thank you, Morgan. Good job.
Okay, to be successful in my field, and actually I hate to say it in a lot of fields, it's the little things that make a difference. The assumption is that once you get your certification to be a teacher, you know what you're supposed to teach. And generally that's pretty much the case. You take these exams and you take the right courses. But the things that keep you in the job and keep you in the position are little things like being there on time or early, getting the job done, meeting your deadlines, looking for ways to improve yourself, taking advantage of what's called professional development, going to conferences to find out how other people are doing things and getting new ideas that you can use and adapt in your situation. What I love to see in teachers and colleagues are those who are willing to try new things, willing to be open to new ideas. A person who thinks they know it all are pretty much worthless in any job. A know-it-all is not going to progress. They're not going to get better. And they're not going to keep up with technology and so on and so forth. So, yeah, develop the little habits that keep you employed. Always be there on time, be dependable, let people know what's going on if some crisis develops. But at the same time, do what you can to improve yourself and make yourself better at what you do.
Thank you, Josh.
When I taught science in high school, I was the biology, the chemistry, and the physics teacher, and I ended up liking some aspects of all of them. As long as I can teach using materials, so bring out the toys and the stuff, collect some data, discuss it, have a good time with it, I'll teach any of them. I have a great time with it. I haven't taught biology in years, so I'm a little rusty on that. But in terms of chemistry and physics, I have a great time with it. And with the technology we have nowadays, it's a whole lot more fun. It used to be we would get out there with stopwatches and meter sticks. Now we can use photo gates and computers and handheld calculators and all kinds of neat stuff. So anything that involves bringing out the toys and exploring the properties and having some fun with it, that works for me. So I'm not that picky. If I only like to teach one aspect of physics, let's say light or something like that, that might bore some people. I'd be excited. I'd probably spend weeks on it, and then the other stuff would get short shrift. But as it is, I enjoy doing all kinds of stuff. So there's some options. There's consulting, there's direct classroom teaching, and then sometimes more experienced classroom teachers pick up some additional training and they move on into administration, become principals and vice principals and directors of curriculum and all those aspects. And then, of course, if you want to move on and take more courses and get a doctorate degree, that would make you employable at a university, and that way a person could work there. Education, you could write textbooks, you could work in developing educational media and materials, so it could be doing stuff for online classes, writing software, creating apps. If you can imagine it, there's probably a way to work it into education somewhere along the line. So yeah, the opportunities are wide and varied, and there probably are opportunities out there that I haven't even thought about or envisioned, and somebody will invent it. And
what would you say your favorite class to teach is?
Oh my goodness, that's a great question, and I have a difficult time answering that, because I've taught everything from preschool through graduate classes, and every one of them has a challenge. There's fun things about each one, and then of course there's the work part of it. And I enjoy every one. Working with high school students is fun because they can actually think and figure out stuff, and I don't have to do everything for them, which is a nice thing.
Well, most of them can. You got perceptions.
With graduate students, I'm just sharing tricks of the trade, stuff I learned when I taught that will help them be better teachers in their classroom. With the preschoolers, they're so excited about everything. It's just great fun. They hoot and holler, and you just show them some little nothing, and they're excited about it. So, every age group is just wonderful to work with. You just have to kind of adapt what you do so that it challenges them at their level. And I feel that's what is important about school is for us to be challenged, to develop new skills and learn new things. That's neat.
I want to do something in the healthcare field, but I don't want to work with the patients, like the doctors, you said.
You don't want to work with doctors? I don't blame you. They're kind of ornery. Bossy, too.
She wants to do something in the healthcare field, not work with patients, she said. So what would you recommend for her?
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to think there. There are a lot of things in healthcare that do involve working with people, and that's why a lot of people choose healthcare, because they like to be around people. So, but if you don't, yeah, you get to work with behind-the-scenes kinds of things. So that would be lab work is one that is very important, and you don't have to deal with people except your boss, other lab techs, but that's in demand and needed. There's also a pharmacist would be pretty good. There are some people's skills that you have to go out front, but if you're just back in the back mixing stuff and counting pills and stuff, that's not as, people intensive. And then there are other aspects in the healthcare field. There's a lot of office work that has to be done. There are forms that have to be done. There's accounting that has to be done. There's maintenance that has to be done. There's computer systems that have to be maintained. Just tons of stuff. They're not necessarily healthcare only. Those skills are transferable to all kinds of other fields. But they are essential parts of healthcare, and you don't have to deal with whiny people every day. You can just work behind your equipment, your tools, or whatever you have to do. So does that help?
Yes, thank you.
And the nice thing is, there's a whole lot of sick people out there, so healthcare pays pretty well right now.
Everybody wave goodbye. Thank you for stopping in with us and giving a lot of good information. Okay?
No
really
problem.
Appreciate it.
Good to meet y'all.
We'll see you Thursday.
Okay, great.
Thank you.